Right now, as you're watching this video, millions of people are watching porn. Not just criminals, not outsiders, ordinary people, like students, parents, politicians, judges. The same societies that publicly condemn pornography are privately consuming it at a scale humanity has never seen before. And the more governments try to stop it, the stronger it seems to become. So tonight, we ask a question no one likes answering. Is porn corrupting the human brain, or is it exposing something that was always there? Let's zoom inside the human brain. At the center of pleasure is something called dopamine, our brain's feel-good chemical. When a person watches porn, dopamine surges, the same chemical released when we eat, fall in love, or even take drugs. This flood of dopamine reinforces the behavior, making the brain want more, more, more. In some individuals, this pattern isn't just occasional. It becomes something scientists compare to addiction. Not because everyone who watches porn is addicted, but because the mechanism, the neural pathways, look eerily similar to other compulsive behaviors. Ask people why they watch porn, and the answers are surprisingly diverse. First is sexual arousal, pleasure, curiosity, and fantasy. This comes as no surprise, but the top reason why people watch porn is for sexual pleasure, according to both 2021 study. Out of all the explanations, this is the one porn is specifically produced for. Sexual desire is, of course, natural and healthy. In a relationship where partners have different drives, or a single person desires sex, again, porn is often seen as a go-to way to fulfill that need. Secondly, porn helps in learning about sex, especially in cultures where sex education is lacking. Pornography also acts as a coping mechanism against stress, anxiety, loneliness, or emotional avoidance. Some findings also suggest that internet pornography consumption might represent a defense mechanism against excessive stress, which enables people to cope with stressful events, helps in mood regulation, and help decrease depression and anxiety. Then we have social influence. Friends watch it, culture talks about it, and you end up getting influenced. We've seen so far that for some, pornography fills gaps in education, in intimacy, in human connection. But it's not always harmless, and that leads us to our next chapter. For many, porn is just a part of normal sexuality. But for others, especially when used to escape deeper emotional distress, it can correlate strongly with anxiety, depression, and problematic use. Researchers have found that stress, identity conflict, and emotional distress are tied to heavier pornography consumption, and in some cases, compulsive behavior that resembles addiction. This doesn't mean porn alone causes these conditions, but for some, it becomes a temporary shelter in a mind under stress. And now we come to today's biggest debates. Governments and regulators around the world are taking notice. In the UK, age verification laws led to dramatic drops in traffic to mainstream porn sites, but also a rise in VPN use as people tried to bypass restrictions. France also now requires strict age checks for adult websites. Several U.S. states, like Texas and Louisiana, mandate ID-based verification, leading some platforms to block access. The EU's Digital Services Act tightens rules on harmful and non-consensual content. India continues site blocking without criminalizing private viewing. China and many Middle Eastern countries maintain total bans. There's also a growing backlash against extreme and violent content.
epidemic of male violence towards women and girls cannot be ended unless the government confronts the role that pornography plays when it comes to fueling sexual violence. They found that watching porn is associated with higher levels of sexist attitudes, with many videos dehumanizing and objectifying women. A lot of more mainstream porn actually features physical violence towards women, and it can shape the understanding and expectations when it comes to sex.
So much so that the UK has now moved to criminalize pornographic depictions of strangulation, a response to how normalized this dangerous content had become. And technology is changing the landscape even faster, with deepfake porn and AI-generated imagery raising ethical alarms about consent, exploitation, and privacy. This isn't just about consumption, it's about power, ethics, and humanity. So why do we watch pornography? Because we are biological creatures driven by pleasure. Because the internet makes it easier than ever. Because humans seek connection, escape, curiosity, and sometimes solace. And because in a world where sex education is often taboo, porn becomes the teacher we never asked for. But science and society are waking up to the consequences. Not to ban, not to shame, but to understand. It is fair to say that how we relate to pornography tells us as much about human curiosity, psychology, and vulnerability as it does about technology. And if we can face that truth without shame, maybe then we can talk about it honestly, scientifically, and with compassion. This was the science behind why we watch porn. For similar videos on a variety of topics, kindly like, share, and subscribe.